you become what you think about all day long. So it's not that I visualize 5 minutes a day every morning and I did that for 2 weeks. Why am I not achieving my goals? What is it that you're thinking about all day long? Are you thinking about your problems? Are you thinking about how hard life is? Or are you really focused and excited about your goal? Connect with the image of your goal all day long, whenever you have some free time. Like whenever you're in between meetings, you're cooking, you're taking a shower, whatever you're doing, just it doesn't need to take long. Just connect with that image for a few seconds. That's how you accelerate the manifestation process. Your mind is exactly as the soil. So when we say thoughts become things, people immediately look at their results and they say, well, I've got a cold. I was not thinking about catching a cold. Or here's my bank account, bank balance. That's not what I was thinking about. Or here's how my business is struggling. That's not what I was thinking about. But people don't realize that thoughts become things. But do they become things? Who thinks here that thoughts become things immediately? There is a law in this universe. So as I explained a few days ago, this whole universe is an orderly universe. You never see winter comes after winter. Always spring comes after winter. There is a law. There are a lot of laws governing this whole universe. Law of gravity is one of the things that human beings have proven already. There are other laws that might not have been proven already scientifically, but doesn't mean that they don't exist. If there was no order, we would not be able to live on this planet, on this globe, just circling in the middle of nowhere. This is an orderly universe, precisely designed by order and by laws. One of the laws is the law of gestation. When a woman gets pregnant, she doesn't deliver a baby within 24 hours. It takes 9 months. When you plant a seed, let's say a carrot seed, you're not going to go back there the day after and say, well, it's not working. Where is the carrot? It's so logical when you think about it this way. When you plant the seeds, carrot seed, you're not going to see the carrot the day after. You're not going to see it next month. It takes 70 something days. So when you think about your goals, when you start visualizing your goals, just because you don't see your goal the day after, the month after, a week after, doesn't mean nothing is happening. Things are happening. Things are happening on an energetic level, spiritual level. The only way, the only time things stop happening is when you start questioning things, when you start getting into a lower vibration of doubt and not believing. You are going to stop the whole process and it's going to start from day one. So the same way that you plant a seed in soil and it takes some time, gestation time for you to see the vegetable, fruit, whatever, it's the same way for your goals, your ideas, and your thoughts. Your ideas, your goals, your thoughts are spiritual seeds. You're planting them in your subconscious mind, which is connected to the universal mind. When you think about your goal, what we just did, we visualized, we planted that seed. So now we have to keep watering the seed. You can't go there tomorrow and dig it up and say, where is my goal? Where is my goal? It's not here. I can't see it. So it's not working. If you do that, you mess up the whole process. You need to continue watering the seed daily. You have to visualize daily. You have to work on your faith daily. Faith in what? Faith that your goal is on its way. It's already achieved energetically. It is on its way. You need to keep your vibration high. You cannot doubt it. You cannot look at your current results and let that affect you. But that's what people do, everybody almost. And that's why they're living the same life year after year after year, decade after decade. And they're struggling financially because they're looking at their results. They're letting the result control their mood, their thinking, their attitude. Yeah, I love that. Even for God took 7 days to create the world. Yes, give it time. And if you don't see it, don't panic. Don't get disappointed. So just because I talk to you guys, thank you so much for the notes. You guys are amazing. Imagination, intuition, will, reasoning, perception, and memory. Just because we know these and we learned it yesterday, or maybe we learned it a few months ago, doesn't mean that we're actually masters at implementing these. Remember, these are mental muscles. What do you do with your muscles? Daily workout, weekly workout, regularly. You work on them. Remember, I asked you if you work out or not. If you don't work out, you can tell from looking at your muscles and your body in the mirror. If you start going to the gym in a few months from now, 6 months from now, you can tell looking in the mirror at your body. Same way for your mental muscles. You need to practice these mental muscles daily. Intuition, imagination, the will, reasoning, changing your perception. Don't get stuck in negativity. Change your perception. Look for the good in any situation. There is something good. It's by law. Nothing is bad 100% or nothing is good 100%. There are good and bad, light and dark are together. So these are the things that you need to practice daily. Do you think if you work a little bit harder, you would get much more better results? So there is one concept that is hard work, which obviously works. If it didn't work, a lot of people who are in that category wouldn't be achieving what they want. But there is another concept, which is called quantum leaps. Quantum leaps is a concept that comes from quantum physics. It is based on science. It is not woo-woo. It is happening already in our technology, and we can learn and implement that into our personal life. Sometimes we get so locked in, we get so narrow-minded on working harder on the things that we are doing, we forget that there are other options. We can do something completely different. And this book explains that this is wrong, that we think success is incremental progress. That's one way of living, but it's not the best way of living. You can make quantum leaps, and it all starts from a shift in your mindset. It all starts from believing that it is possible, believing that you don't need to work hard. I am not sitting here saying that life is always easy and rosy, because this is such a wrong promise and it's misleading. That's not what I'm saying. I worked hard. I told you guys I was a hard worker, and you will see the result. And sometimes at the beginning of your business, you might need to work hard. You don't have resources, you don't have the money to invest, but that shouldn't be the way you function for the rest of your life. You have to pay close attention that if you are doing the hard work, you have to give yourself some time and say, this is deadline, and say, I am going to figure out how to delegate after 6 months, after a year max. Yes, exactly. So doing the same thing, who is it? Is it Einstein says doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result is insanity? That's how we live sometimes. That's how we live sometimes, me included. That's why we need someone to see our blind spot, to look at us. We need a coach, we need a mentor to see what we're doing wrong, to tell us, hey, buddy, you've been doing this for so long. Obviously, it's not working. Here's another approach. Try this. But again, everything starts from your mindset. You need to start focusing on what you want and really working on your belief system. So right now, whatever you're experiencing in your life, if you're not happy with it, just know, again, I remind you again and again, everything, all the result comes from your beliefs, your deep rooted beliefs. So really pay attention to what are your beliefs. And sometimes, again, it's hard to realize what those beliefs are without the help of a mentor. But when you change those beliefs and you create stronger beliefs, that's how everything else changes. That's how you come up with quantum leap ideas. Decision making. One of the lessons that we go through in thinking into results is how to help you to become better, more proficient at decision making. If you can just work on this one skill, your life is going to be like day and night different. How many of you struggle with decision making? That was me before Bob Proctor. Who was it here? They asked me how to please help, how to make decisions. So many people don't know how to make decisions. You talk to people, they are majority of people. What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I end my marriage? Should I get married? Should I date? Should I not date? Should I study? Should I not study? Go to work, find a part-time job, start a business? Confusion. If that's the pattern in the mind, what do you think you are attracting and manifesting? Not your goal. Decision making is really important. Another habit that a lot of successful people they have, including like my mentors, Bob Proctor, all the people who are successful in life, when you look at them and you get close to them, if you have the opportunity to be in their proximity, talk to them, they all have things in common. One of the other things they have in common is their expectation. They expect the best out of every situation. On the other hand, people who are struggling, for whatever weird reason, they always expect worst case scenario. They are always waiting for what is going to go wrong. Have you seen people like that? Even if they're excited about something, they are thinking back of their head, they're thinking, what could go wrong? We think if we think like that, we're going to prevent what is going to go wrong, but we're going to attract it actually. Worst case scenario or best case scenario? Which one are you thinking more in your day-to-day life? 97% of people by default think about worst case scenario. That's how we were born. That's how we grew up. We got it from our parents. When you were a kid and you were crawling on the floor and your mom and your dad, they were so worried. Oh, be careful with that. Be careful with this. Be careful with the sharp thing. So it's programmed in our mind, always looking for danger, always looking for worst case scenario, always looking for what can go wrong. And therefore, that's what we are attracting more and more. Yes, these are all hand in hand. So she says, when you're confident about who you are, it's easier to believe positive outcome. But what if you're not confident? What if life has been tough so far? What if you haven't seen the result that you want so far? How do you change that? How do you change that? You're on that negative momentum for, I don't know how old you guys are, even doesn't matter. Even if you're in your 20s, 30, 40, 50, 70, for some time, you have lived in a certain way, always thinking about worst case scenario, therefore attracting it. And you know, the worst thing is people think, you see, I knew it. I knew this worst thing scenario is going to happen. Here it is. You attracted that by thinking about it all day long. The manifestation of the 3D world comes way after your energetic thoughts and feelings and beliefs and your inner dialogues. Remember the gestation period? First, we start thinking about something. First, we start playing with an idea in our mind, a few minutes, few seconds here and there. thinking about worst case scenario and getting involved with that vibrationally, feeling worry, anxiety, and then it manifests into your life in different forms. Sometimes it manifests itself in a form of sickness in your body. People say, I didn't think about having cancer. Of course you did not. Who wants to get cancer? No one. Well, what was your vibration few months ago, few years ago? Were you stressed? Stress, it literally kills us. Would you love to live a stress-free life? Wouldn't that be amazing to live a stress-free life? It is possible. I'm telling you, it is possible. Life can be much easier and much more fun and more fulfilling and more prosperous in all areas, not just your business. When you participate in thinking into results, you become the better version of you. Therefore, your business, your income, your relationships, your family, your health, everything upgrades because we are working on you and your marvelous mind. When you change from within, the exterior, after a gestation period, it reflects your interior. Stress, anxiety, feeling of not being enough. I know, based on my own experience, that the majority of people, they don't have the self-worth that they should have. They don't have the self-love that they should have. Why? They look at the things that they failed at. They look at their bank account, they look at the result, and they think, that's who I am. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. That's a reflection of where you were mentally in your head a few months ago, a few years ago. That's a mental program. That's not who you are. Who are you? Who's your real self? We need to develop our self-worth. As Eve said, if you have the confidence, it's easier to expect best case scenario. How do you develop the confidence? You realize who you really are. When we die, what is left? Our soul. What is the soul? It's energy. Like everything else, this whole universe is based on energy. We are made of energy, infinite energy. We will never die. Our body will die. We will never die. Our soul is part of God. Consciousness. We are consciousness. We are source energy living in a human body, having an intellect. When you understand who you really are, that you are part of, you've been created in God's image. You've been created in God's image, and you are the highest form of creation on this planet Earth. No other creature has even close to your talents and abilities. Think about that all day long and see where your self-confidence is going to go. And self-confidence, self-worth doesn't mean arrogance, of course. But you should know you are much more than your current results. Your current results should not define you. Think about being an infinite intelligence. You have a consciousness. One of the reasons we do meditation, who meditates here, by the way? When we do meditation, great. One of the things we do, sometimes people think they have to have the quiet mind, and that's the purpose of meditation. And if you're a beginner, you start meditating and you see there is no way that you're going to have a quiet mind. The thoughts will come. And sometimes, most of the time, people get disappointed and they think they're doing something wrong and they give up. The whole purpose of meditation, at least to me, I mean, there are so different reasons why we meditate and how you can use meditation for different purposes. The way I teach it, and I think especially for the beginners, it really, really helps, is that when you close your eyes and you meditate and a thought comes to your mind, Usually it is either a to-do list, something that you need to do in the future, or something that you've done in the past and you're blaming yourself and you think, oh, I should have done better. I should have said that to him or her, or why didn't I say that? Or what is it that I'm going to do tomorrow? Either future or past comes to your mind. Just observe that thought. You want to know who you really are? Close your eyes, meditate. When a thought comes to your mind, observe that thought and become aware that you are observing that thought. So you know that you're thinking about that thought. Let's say you need to do grocery shopping. The thought of grocery shopping comes to your mind, and you tell to yourself, oh, I'm thinking about grocery shopping. That I am who is observing the thought, the grocery shopping, is consciousness. That's real you. That's part of God. It is consciousness. You're not your thoughts. If you can observe your thoughts and say, cancel, I don't want this thought, and you absolutely can, you always can do that. You cancel any thought that you don't want to think about. You say, cancel, you don't think about it anymore. That's your real essence, which is limitless. Are you living a limitless life?